If I were to give advice to anyone who is uncomfortable using public transit at first, I'd say don't be afraid. The drivers are trained professionals, the system is safe, and of course, as much as you might be afraid, you will be absolutely amazed at the freedom you get to experience. One of the first things I learned was that when you get to go wherever you want, whenever you want, you do go wherever you want, whenever you want.
Hi there, my name's Maureen Van Ravens and I'm the manager here at TransHelp at the Region Appeal. TransHelp is committed to work with Brampton and Mississauga Transit to support transportation opportunities for people with mobility issues. We want people to feel accepted and comfortable to use conventional transit. There are so many more travel options than there were before, and we encourage you to try a new service.
Hi, I'm Joff Marinoff, Director of Mississauga Transit. We want all of our riders to have a positive experience with us. Today, all of our drivers are trained on accessible services. 90% of our fleet is accessible, as well as 25% of our routes. And we won't stop until we reach 100% accessibility.
Hi, I'm Sue Connor. I'm the Director of Brampton Transit. We're one of the fastest growing transit systems in Canada. We've invested in first-class, fully accessible buses to make your ride more comfortable and convenient. By 2012, we plan to have fully accessible buses on all of our routes. Our operators are ready to assist you with your commute. Welcome aboard.
I have been using conventional transit for a long time, and there have been a couple of times where, it has gotten me where I wanted to go really fast, and I think that those experiences as a whole have helped me use conventional transit a lot more and trust in it.
One of the advantages of being able to take public transit versus TransHelp is that I'm not limited by schedule. I can go late at night, on the weekend I can even go in inclement weather. One of the best things I can do is not have to worry about my schedule syncing up with someone else's. I'm free to do what I want, when I want.
2 weeks after I had my wheelchair, I was already getting on some of the Mississauga buses that were accessible at that time, and now that I think every Mississauga bus is accessible, just look up the map to see where they're going if you want to go somewhere, and just get on the bus and go.
So ramp was a big concern when I started using Mississauga Transit, but as I started taking it over time, I overcame that fear of mine. And the ramps most of the time do work, and it's great.
I was afraid that somebody would yell at me because I was taking up too much room with the chair, or somebody would yell at me because I had a dog on the bus with me. But most of the time, I find the drivers are just fabulous.
I've found that the drivers are, always willing to come and help you or something, so that don't be afraid of them. Actually use them to help you. So. And it'll make the experience go that much easier, and you'll have fun as well.
It really improves their self-esteem, their ability to be independent, make decisions, go places, widens their horizons, and be part of the community.
Well, it's not just for people using the mobility devices, but people like me who are white cane user. Hi, my name is Nozar Borzayan, and I'm a person with total vision loss. And I do use the public transit, the conventional transit, wherever I go, every day. It's very easy, very convenient, and I think it's the best mode of transportation for people with any kind of disability. And well, here is another example of Jerry. He is a person with Down syndromes, and he has difficulty in communicating with people, but he's not scared of using the public transportation.
You have as much right to be there as anybody else. You pay the same fare. It's your bus system.
I do ride with a lot of my friends. They usually come along with me because they also don't have cars. So, we're all on a budget.
When it comes to the conventional transit, I just have to go to the specific bus terminal or bus stop and hop in a bus and ready to go. So that gives me more choice and more places to go whenever and wherever I want to go.
And just working on that self-confidence. So and just getting them to think, I can do this, I can be independent.
It gives me more like confidence using city bus. It'll give me a lot more experience to get around by city bus.
Go sort of in the middle of the day, between, when it's sort of not the rush hours. Try and go where it's a smaller route, less traveled route, and tell the driver that this is your first time, and that if you could explain what you have to do as far as backing into your spot and so on.
I do encourage you all, people out there who are having any kind of disability, to come forward and use the public transit.
If you've decided to take a public transit bus for the first time, here's a quick look at what you can expect. First, be at your bus stop on time. If you use a mobility device like a walker, cane, or wheelchair, you'll usually get on board first. The driver will kneel the bus if needed. If you're using a wheelchair or a scooter, back up so the driver has room to lower the ramp. Use the ramp to enter the bus and put your money or ticket in the fare box. Feel free to ask the driver or another passenger for help.
Hi, I can't quite reach the ticket box. Could you put this in for me? Of course. Thanks. You're welcome.
The driver will flip up the seats at the front of the bus so you have room to position your wheelchair or scooter. Back up so your rear wheels are against the board. This will stop you and your mobility device from moving too much during the ride. If you like, you can use the safety belt.
Power off, brakes on? Yep. I'm going to Shoppers World, by the way.
Okay,
Thanks.
It's a good idea to tell the driver where you're going so he or she can let you know when your stop is coming up. If you're taking a Brampton Transit bus, you'll be facing the front of the bus. If you're taking Mississauga Transit, you'll be facing the back of the bus. If you need an attendant because of your disability, they can travel with you for free. Service animals are welcome to travel with you on the bus as well. When you're getting close to your stop, signal the driver by pressing the stop button or the yellow tape on the seat or wall beside you, or pull the yellow cord. The driver will usually help you off the bus before the others get off.
Thank you.
Remember, the driver will lower the ramp to allow for safe boarding. When on board, position your wheelchair or scooter in the accessible space. Position yourself with your rear wheels against the board. Tell the driver where you are going, and signal when you want to get off. It's easy to use public transit. Lots of people with various disabilities do. Now is your opportunity. Call Brampton or Mississauga Transit and they'll help you plan a trip or answer your questions. Now is the perfect time to use public transit to go where you want, when you want. Welcome aboard!